What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay, powered by Wager Talk every single day, man. Obviously, it's Tuesday as well. It's $2 Tuesday over there at Wager Talk. Also have that 3 for 5 over there at Sports Mo as well. We got the legends with us today, man. Teddy covers Ralph Michaels. Teddy, what's up with you, my brother? Everything cool with you? Then kick it over to Ralph.
Yeah, man. I've been running real good for like 2 months now, dude. So I'm gonna knock on wood. We did it again last night. Exactly. The Dallas Mavericks plus the points. Never in doubt. But Utah does what they do, man. Utah blows leads. Mm-hmm. That's what the Jazz have done all year long. They were number 2 in the NBA and blown double-digit leads this year behind a Cleveland team that I just bet against last week with Atlanta, who had 18 games they lost with double-digit leads. So not surprising to see another blown lead last night. But the NBA's been real good, Jay. 38-13, my last 51 in the NBA. It's been a pretty good run over the last couple of months. Ralph?
Yeah, well, when you saw the intro, Teddy, one of the three of us have rhythm. So I'll let our guests figure out who that is. NBA as well, 51-28, 65% this season. So I don't use a lot of volume. I look at situations. We're going to talk about some interesting situations today and talk about some of those things. So looking forward to spending the next few minutes with both of you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's always a great time with you guys. And let's get to some cash today. First, always want to let you guys know, like I said, it's $2 Tuesday over there at Wager Talk as well. And we will be, Ralph will have a special database that he's letting us know about today, Teddy. I know, how do you feel about this, the zigzag theory just in general, Teddy? I know, like, it used to work really well over the past few years. It hadn't really worked so well. What do you think about the zigzag theory in general?
So let's just explain exactly so everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. The zigzag theory means you bet on the loser of the previous playoff game, expecting that team to play harder that night and the opposing team to perhaps let down a little bit after they've taken the lead in the series. So zigzag just means you're betting on the team that lost in their last playoff game. It works in theory, games 2 through 7 in any playoff series. It's got to be about 15 years ago now. More than 10. It was in the aughts. I think it was like 08, 09, 010. Something. I went back and did a study. And I went through every playoff series for the last 20 years. And basically it showed in the 90s, playing the zigzag blindly was really profitable. By the 2000s, playing the zigzag blindly was no better than a coin flip. And at times, it was a negative expectation wager. Ralph's going to give us some data about what the zigzag theory has done in recent seasons that, again, speaks volumes about perhaps the concept being a little bit overrated. I do not blindly bet zigzags. I do not bet a lot of zigzags. There might be some zigzag series that you see early on. You say, hey, this team's going to bounce, that team's going to bounce. But the majority of series, the better team's going to find a way to win. And I'm not looking to zigzag them. Ralph?
Well, guys, I went specifically into game 1, then to game 2, and did a study over the past decade from 2011 to 2014. If you bet the team that lost game 1, you've covered 71%. Since 2015, if you bet the team that lost game 1 in the series, you have only hit 42%. So we went from 71 to 42%. And, Teddy, you went back to 2008 talking about the zigzag. I mean, I think we had so much more parity. These rosters have gotten out of hand with, the Lakers and the mega rosters where the top to bottom teams now are so much better that they don't lose those games. Whereas back in those days, we had a legitimate ceiling basically on the roster, so the teams were more legit. Jay threw up a chart here. These are looking since 2014. Playoff game number 2 only. So zigzag really is a phrase that goes all 7 games. These numbers are only for game 2. I will put this up on Twitter at CalSportsLV after. I'm sure Jay and Teddy will retweet it. But take a look at the top column. On the left-hand side in the gray, the PL means previous game you lost. So you lost game 1. After you lost game 1, you've only covered 45.8%. If you lost game 1 as a favorite, you've covered 44.8%. If you lost game 1 as a home favorite, like Memphis did, You were only 10 and 13, 43%. So, I mean, a lot of people will be talking about Memphis. Will do that. And just one thing I want to show you on the bottom where it says PWH by 10 plus. That means you won at home your previous game by 10 or more. You won game one of the series by 10 points or more. You've covered 58%. If you've won game one by 10 points or more and you're a favorite, you covered 65%. And guess what? We're going to make that 68% because Golden State and Philly covered last night. Miami and Phoenix in that role tonight. So the Blues to the right mean all those losses look for over situations. And look at the Browns in the middle. When teams blow out an opponent by 10 or more in game one, they've gone under the total 57.6%. So a lot of information to throw out here real quick. I will tweet out again the chart after we talk about it, and we'll bring up the specific situations in the games today.
I like it. That's some damn good. If y'all don't know, man, Ralph is the guy with the info, and I'm real big on that as well. Looking at trends over the past years, the trends are your friends, and sometimes they can really tell a damn good story, guys. Let's get into some business here, man. Love that info there by my guy Ralph. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami. Here we got the Heat here laying 7.5, Teddy, versus the Hawks. Now we know the Hawks were down Capella. They did get Collins back. The Heat defense was just way too much for these guys. I'm talking about trifecta smack city spot from the get-go. Now Bam is a little banged up, but he did say he's going to play here, Teddy. Do you think we see the same thing we saw from game one in this one?
Well, Bam's a little banged up, but Bam also is a little banged up with his ego for not getting the NBA Defensive Player of the Year. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an inspired defensive showing here for Miami. And Ralph's going to give out some really good numbers about what happens to Atlanta when they don't put up points in bunches. All right. I trust this Miami defense. I don't think no, Trae Young's not going to be a complete non-factor like he was in game one. That game was a blowout. All right. I would expect a lot more from Trae Young tonight than we saw over the weekend. That said, Miami's the number one seed for a reason. This team is loaded. And again, it was Duncan Robinson in game one as the key guy. Miami's got like 6 key guys who can come through in any given game. And again, Adebayo tonight is a guy with, I think, a chip on his shoulder. Atlanta, when you look at the roster, when you look at the bench depth, you're just not looking at this Hawks team as someone I think that compete with Miami. And I think Miami's an undervalued commodity, and they have been. Just look at the series price at the open here, with Miami less than 4-1 as a 1 seed against the 8 seed. Heat are the only way I'm looking, not just tonight, in this series. All right. It's Miami or pass moving forward for me in this one.
You know, Teddy, you talked about Young struggling a little bit. Well, I have a bet for you. I bet Young and Bogdanović will shoot better than the 1 for 20 they did in game number one. So, you know, you take those guys were 0 for 11 from three-pointers, a combined 1 for 20, and then Duncan Robinson, you mentioned, 8 of 9 from three-point land. I mean, we are talking about the extremes on both ends. But I have to agree with you. You know, you look at the Miami defense, you look at the Miami offense, they've got people capable of shutting Young down. I mean, we saw Young go off in the third quarter and the fourth quarter against the Cavs, and he started driving the ball, getting to the foul line. Miami's interior defense is too good, and that's the problem. When he can't drive and dish the ball off and then step back and take those monster threes, you know, the Hawks just struggle offensively. Here's a number I just tweeted out. When the Atlanta Hawks are held to 107 points or less, 106 points or less this season, they are 1-20 against the spread, and they are 0-21 over under. So, you know, take that with what you want with a correlated parlay. But if you like the Hawks, I think that leads to betting the over. If you think the Hawks are going to struggle offensively, obviously the under's the play in this situation. So I'm with you as well, Teddy. I think they can shut Trae Young down again. I do. I lean Miami and the under in this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me, Teddy. What were you about to say?
Oh, just real quick, the team total on the Hawks is 105.5/106, which is exactly the number that Ralph was talking about, being 106. So you can bet Atlanta. If Atlanta goes under that 1 to 106, what do you say, 1-20?
1-20 against the spread, yeah.
Yeah. So that's I thought it's with that team total being sitting at 105.5, 106. I just thought it was worth mentioning, Jay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. This is a tough one for you, man. I do think obviously the Hawks are outclassed here. With Bam a little banged up, even if he's bringing his best, man, they're not going to be 100%. I don't want to take the Hawks without Capella. He's really key for the matchup to bang down there with Bam and rebound as well. But I agree though, the Trae Young's not going to have that bad of a game. We talk about it as well. They just had 2 play-in games to get to that seed. You're facing up with number 1 seed. You're supposed to get smashed in that first game. It's a letdown spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Hawks here come back with a little bit more. I don't think they'll win the game, but I do see Trae Young having a much better game. Bogdanovich is hurt. His knee has been banged up pretty much all seasons, guys. So this is a tough game for me. I didn't even come close to making a bet. I know that the Heat are the better team, but the Hawks have some tools to keep a few of these games close. It's a tough series, man. You got to find your series that you like, and some series you may not like some stuff in, man. So I don't like forcing plays. Ralph, did you have some?
And remember, Collins isn't even 100%. He's banged up as well. So you're talking about Bogdanovich banged up, Collins banged up, and Capella out. I mean, you're missing key pieces, and you're Trae Young, but you miss that. You're missing that trio, or have that type of banged up trio. Tough to overcome that.
Yeah, that's a good point there. I can definitely understand the Heat love, my guys, for sure. Let's get over here to the streets of Memphis here. I'm in the stadium right now. You know what I'm saying? I hear some chatter from the players that they're ready to come to play today. You see what I'm saying? Maybe a little first game jitters. They talk about not playing for a week. Guys, I like the Teddy was saying, I can't wait to see what you like. Well, I'll tell you what I like, Teddy. I like the Grizzlies here to bounce back, and I'll tell you what I did as well, man. I got to someone told me, if you've been watching the show past couple days, this is a trifecta spot for the Grizzlies here. I took them first quarter -2.5, first half -4, full game -6.5. Trifecta smack city spot by the Grizzlies here. They're going to come out here strong. Home crowd's going to get behind them. They're going to come out and be up by double digits after the first quarter. They will not look back here, Teddy. The Grizzlies, we hopped on the Mavericks yesterday, the best team in the league coming off a loss. Now we're hopping on the Grizzlies, the second best team. And as I alluded to yesterday's show, the second best against the spread team. I believe they're 17-6, coming off a loss this year. Regardless, we're on the Grizzlies trifecta spot, Teddy. 17-9 against the spread. Second best team is good for 65%. The home favorite here coming off a loss, Teddy. Could you talk me off?
I'm going to try to, because I think you're on the wrong side of that.
Okay.
And my concept is really simple, Jay. It's really simple on this. Before the series started, I went through and I made my base powering numbers for all the teams. What's the powering differential? My powering differential from Memphis to Minnesota is 2.5 points, 2.25. Okay. Memphis 2 point on neutral. Memphis is 2 points better. I don't care how many points you want to give me for a zigzag. I don't care how many points you want to give me for home court. A 2.5 point differential does not equate to a -7. It just doesn't. The value in this series is on the underdog, not the favorite. Then we start looking at the teams, all right? Memphis, playoff veterans? Not really. When's the last time the Grizzlies won a playoff series? Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Vince Carter, Tony Allen. It's 2015 since Memphis won a playoff series. Won a game last year and then lost. This is no playoff veteran squad that knows how to kick it up a notch. They haven't won any series. Last but not least, and definitely not least, Minnesota has the star power. Memphis, great regular season teams. We see the regular season teams every year struggle when the postseason begins. Memphis had the depth, all those games they won without Ja, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to star power, is Desmond Bane that star? Is Jaren Jackson that star? No, it's Ja. It's Ja Morant. Minnesota's got 3 stars. They got 3 guys who, when they get the ball in their hands and they're hot, you can't stop them. Russell, Cat, Towns. Minnesota's a better team. Certainly almost as good. 7 points is too many. I'll take the points with the T-Wolves, expecting more of the same. At least a competitive game. Maybe not a win, but I think Minnesota hangs.
I had two other plays, Teddy. Sorry, Ralph, but I'll be honest. I like the first quarter and first half even more. But yeah, I think they get up by 20 points in this game. I think the crowd's going to be too much. The Timberwolves are somewhat of a softer team. I don't see these guys shooting lights out. They were in better basketball form in the first game. Now the Grizzlies got smacked in the mouth first. I believe they'll bounce back. Ralph, what you think about this one?
Well, let's remember Minnesota did what they did, and Russell was only 2 for 11. I mean, Russell's going to have a much better game, and you look at it. When I didn't watch that game, I recorded it and just went through it quick. I'll tell you what, Steven Adams was a train wreck. I mean, that's where Minnesota, they had no interior defense. Jackson had 7 blocks, but only played 24 minutes because he got in foul trouble. And anytime Steven Adams had to do a pick and roll, Edwards ate him up. I mean, I think that's the mismatch of the world. You talked about Russell and Towns and Edwards. I mean, that's probably the best big three that no one's going to mention in the NBA when you talk about big threes. They have so much potential, and I really like what they're doing. And I think Memphis has a ton of pressure. We talk about zigzags. Well, teams that lost as a home favorite in game 1, this is going back to 2014 on the chart I had, they have gone 18-5 straight up. They've won 78% of the games, but they've only gone 10-13 against the spread, 43.5%. Again, Memphis is in that role. I did not include the 2019 season, which was in the bubble, obviously, because losing as a home favorite when you're in the bubble. So those numbers are not included. But I think Minnesota, I agree with you, has too much star power. I think Adams was a complete liability. And with Jackson getting in foul trouble and Adams struggling on the inside, those are your 2 6'11" guys. I think Minnesota eats them up. I do think Memphis is going to be aggressive, and I would lean Minnesota. I didn't bet the game, have no strong opinion on either side, but I will lean with over 61.5 in the first quarter. I think Memphis comes out having to try to run the ball. I think Minnesota continues to try to be aggressive. They got Jackson in early foul trouble, and I think they'll attack Adams again. Memphis, a lot of pressure. Remember, they beat Utah game 1 last year and then got swept. So they now have 5 straight playoff losses. And when you start saying, oh my gosh, is this going to happen again? It's not a situation I want to back.
Got you. Yeah. Grizzlies, first quarter, -2.5. Very strong opinion. All they're talking about in the post-game interviews, we'll go to the next game, is talking about starting out better. They can't let the Wolves get out to a hot start like that. The Grizzlies will come out here, bring the defense. They will attack the paint. John Moran will have a much better game as well. He's watching The Last Dance. Watch out. Watch out, my guys. But yeah, very strong opinion. Grizzlies first quarter -2.5. Grizzlies first half -4. I took the full game as well, -6.5. I must say that's the least one that I like. But Grizzlies start out here hot. They're winning this game by 20 points, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Phoenix. Last game up, we got the Suns here laying 9.5 versus the Pelicans. Pelicans gave them a run the first game, guys. I must say there may be some spots to take the Pelicans in this series. I don't have anything on this game. It was one game that I'm worried about, but the line movement surprised me here, Teddy. The Suns had got up to about 20. Before you know it, it was like a 7.9-point game. Now this spread's come down from 10.5 to 10 to 9.5. Now, Teddy, what you think about this one?
So I have nothing but respect for the Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns are going to win the West. The Phoenix Suns are very live for the NBA title. I don't think this number is way off. I have the Suns in the -7 range on a neutral against New Orleans, -7.5 on a neutral, which says that this point spread is, in line in theory with where it should be. All of that being said, New Orleans has made me money in this particular role, in this road dog role. This team's been since the All-Star break. I'm just trying to go back and pull up the records real quick. One after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. Literally, they won at Phoenix already this year, right? The first game out of the All-Star break. They won at the Lakers in the next game. They took Denver to overtime. They had a bad loss at Memphis. They won at San Antonio. They won at Atlanta. They hung tough at Charlotte, lost on a buzzer beater there. I remember that game, plus the points was good. They won at Portland. They won at the Lakers again. They won at Sacramento. They won in the postseason against the Clippers. And after getting blown out early, they hung around at Phoenix. It's a feisty team. I think 9.5 is a little bit too much. I think New Orleans, I don't know if they can win the game. I think they can hang around in this one. I'd rather be taking the points and laying them in this one. And again, Chris Paul plays the best game he's ever going to play in this postseason. And you get covered by just the hook. Yeah. I think New Orleans is live.
What you think about this one, Ralph?
Yeah, you mentioned Chris Paul, 30 points. You know, when New Orleans made their run in that third quarter and fourth quarter, Chris Paul scored 17 of the 19 Phoenix points. You know, you're talking a lot of pressure for one guy to have to make it, like you said, and a last basket cover. You know, I will mention this. Let's remember for the Pelicans, McCollum only started 26 games. Ingram only started 55 games. When those two played together, the Pelicans went 14-5. So, Teddy, you know, that's your point, talking about late in the year when those guys were playing. Let's remember, New Orleans started the season 1-12. So this is a completely different team from what we saw early in the year. Will Zion play? Will Zion not play? Boom. And then you get settled. You know he's not playing. You get on with your lives and you start to figure out with the players you have, the system you're going to have. You know, I don't have much in this game. You know, I agree with you with Phoenix. They're by far the best team. When you have Booker being able to have assists like that and being able to have Paul and Booker both dishing out assists, everyone looks better. You know, the funny stat that I read was, oh my God, look at this team that was incredibly gifted on offensive rebounds. They had a 25-5 offensive rebound edge. Well, I'll tell you what. When you shoot 37%, you got a lot of balls that you could get up and grab, and Phoenix shot 58%. There's not many misses to get the offensive board. So I don't take anything out of that except laugh that, yeah, 25-5 is a number you're not going to see, but you only get to 25 if you are horrible. They had 90 shots. They had 17 more shots than Phoenix. So they are aggressive. They are going to push the pace. I think this, though, you know, Phoenix was up by 19, and we saw a team come back and make halftime adjustments. I do like Phoenix in the first half again. Their starters play more. They have the lineup that's gotten them where they have. I don't like full game, but I will back the Suns here. First half minus the 5.5. So that's my opinion on the game, and no real opinion on the total. And let me remind and show you the numbers. When a team won game number 1 by 10 or more points, they've gone 22-12, 65%. Add 2 wins to that, to Golden State and Philadelphia. So 24-12, 67%. And remember, Miami and Phoenix both fit that role. Interesting note on the total. When a team won by 10 or more points in game 1, they're 57.6% to the under in game number 2. Just a note for that total.
I like it. Yeah, and we can't forget as well that Willie Green used to coach for the Suns as well last year. So he knows their coaching staff. He knows the team pretty well, is pretty good as well. So that's one of the main reasons why I feel like the Pelicans, obviously with the high spread, they're going to cover some of these games. You see, the first game they could have really gave up as well. They were one of the teams that same position as the Hawks, had to win 2 games just to get there. Then to face the number 1 seed, they could have got smacked up. Which, I mean, I know they didn't cover, but they could have literally got smacked by 30 points in that game and actually came back to really, they could have covered that game, man. I'm sure if you had the Suns, you were sweating hell in, man. But can't forget Willie Green really having some inside info on how to guard that team. Chris Paul, we'll see if he has that in him to keep going off as well. Ralph, did you have something else on this one?
Yeah, Phoenix beats teams they're supposed to. You know, they went 33-5 against losing teams this year, and 2 losses were late in the year against the Clippers and Sacramento, where they were resting people. But I will say this: they are only 9-11 against the spread as a double-digit favorite. So they do not blow out teams, and we saw it in the second half, letting foes get back. Yes, they win, they take care of business, but as a big favorite, be cautious with them.
Yeah, that's a good point there. So I'm always a little cautious with big favorites in the playoffs, to be honest with you, unless they got added motivation. We ride with the more motivated teams in the playoffs, my guys. But like I say, real quick, man, if you want to hop with some shirts, I got the Black Smack City shirt on today, man. Hit me up, NbaTalkWithJay at Gmail. jmoneyismoney.com. We'll be ready by the end of the day today as well. So if you'd like to order some shirts, go hit me up on the fresh new website. You dig what I'm saying? Free picks, my guys. As always, want to let you guys know we got promo codes. Go check them out at Wager Talk. We got Teddy covers over there. We got Ralph Michaels as well. Please pay attention to the commercial. 30 seconds.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Wager Talk and Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. All NBA Talk with J Money viewers who are new to Wager Talk or Sports Memo can take 50% off their first purchase up to $100 using coupon code J50 when checking out. Even better, J50 can be used to double dip and redeemed once for a new customer at Wager Talk and once for a new customer at Sports Memo. Our new combined roster of experts is 50 plus deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is be a first-time Wager Talk or Sports Memo customer. Go to wagertalk.com and sportsmemo.com. Choose the handicapper of your choice. Use coupon code J50 when checking out and take 50% off of everything in your cart up to $100.
Use promo code J50. You can take out whatever is in your cart, man. Load that cart up real quick and then slice that price in half. Ralph, what you liking today on today's card? And let them know what you got going there. Wager Talk, and then we'll kick it over to Teddy.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over in that first quarter for Memphis and Minnesota. I think they've got to be aggressive. Mm-hmm. Number one in NBA win percentage this year at Wager Talk. Number one in NHL win percentage. The double dip duo. Very proud of that. I have 3 plays today: an NBA play, an NHL play, and an MLB underdog game of the week. All 3 just $29. WT.buzz/RM gets you to my homepage. And I do have one thing, if I could bring up, guys. I won't be on the show later this week, but I get asked this a lot. What do 0-2 teams do when they come back at home? So you lost both games on the road, game 1, game 2. When you get to game 3, if you're an 0-2 home favorite, you have actually gone 13-7, 65% since 2015. If you are an 0-2 home dog, you've gone 5-11 against the spread since 2016. So, again, I'm not going to tell you to blindly play 0-2 home favorites and fade 0-2 home dogs, but situationally for the last 5+ years, that has been the role for those games. So keep an eye on those that are coming up later this week.
That is great info, Ralph. Ralph, when I say this, we appreciate that so much, man. I'm telling you this.
Send him a shirt.
Yeah, I'm sending you a shirt, Ralph. Let me know, man. You too, Teddy. You too, man. But Teddy, man, y'all send me the sizes. But Teddy, what you liking on today's card, and what do you have going over at Wager Talk and Sports Memo as well, my brother?
Sure, guys. Don't. Today's not a day to go over to Wager Talk because I gave you my bet. I gave you Miami and I gave you New Orleans. Those are my 2 service plays today. My free play up there is on Minnesota plus against Memphis. So the one that Jay hates. But it is what it is. We're allowed to. If everyone agreed on everything, there'd be no market. All right. So we're supposed to disagree. But the NBA has just been spectacular. It's 38-13 the last 51, 17-6 the last 23. Off to a 67% start in the postseason. I mean, it's just been good the whole way. Since the All-Star break, the NBA has been really good. And we'll see if we keep it rolling.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, Teddy. Yeah, I definitely got to send you a shirt as well. It's no problem. And you know what? You kind of just alluded to that. You're kind of sort of not on the Timberwolves officially, kind of sort of. So I don't. Maybe I don't feel so bad now. So maybe I don't feel so bad that you told me I'm on the wrong side.
Hey, Teddy's only hit 67%, so he's lost 33% of the time. So you just got to find that right 33% to fade him.
Hey, but 67%, man, you can make a good living off that, man. We have been doing it as well, but I'm right there with you, Teddy. We've been running hot, but let's keep it going. You see what I'm saying? It's no patting back, but I do. These are my spots, guys, in the playoffs. Ralph just talked about some 0-2 come back to the house. That's another first half. I love to know the stats on that, but for today, 0-1, especially the favorite. We hopped with the Mavs yesterday, must-win game. They were the dog. Now it's the favorite. I told you this, guys, yesterday. We like the Grizzlies here today. We like them early. We like them often. Trifecta spot. When I find a spot like this, I think they'll be up by 10 points or more score at the end of the first quarter, and they're not looking back. The Wolves kind of maybe a little fat and happy. We had Mark on the show yesterday, a little fat and sassy. The job is done. Go there and steal one. Now you're a little bit complacent and start thinking about heading back to the house. This Wolves team, I love this team, but they are a little bit softer. The Grizzlies will get physical with them tonight. I believe they'll get the calls as well. They're even up the series in emphatic fashion. People will start back on getting back on the Grizzlies tonight. First quarter, -2.5. First half, -4. Full game, -6.5. The more motivated team by far. Give me the Grizzlies here. Trifecta spot, guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Teddy and Ralph, send me them shirt sizes. Everybody in the chat as well, man, that's got a shirt. Put them good luck shirts on. We're cashing tonight, my guys. We out, man. We back tomorrow.